You down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? Who's down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? Who down with LCS?
Good morning. We've got a crew with us this morning.
Good morning.
Hope everybody's doing well.
What is up, everybody?
Izzy's doing his best impression of Comic Journey.
Nah,
Driving in the car.
that's what Comic Journey does.
Well, he used to do that a lot. He hasn't done it. He had the camera facing out. You know, you saw the front of the car.
I remember those videos now. I recall now.
Yeah.
I recall.
Yeah. So
It's been a while.
I appreciate you guys joining this morning.
This is early. I forgot how early you went live, man.
Why is it early? Why is this early?
This is early.
Christmas was here like an hour ago from New Mexico, so it's even earlier for him.
Exactly, man. You're running you're on our time zone, right, Chris?
Yeah, he's he's Eastern, and John is in California. He's 3 hours.
Yeah, it's early for them. It's 10 o'clock over here, man.
It's 7 for John.
You know,
and I mean, look, Joe's out playing bocce ball already at 10 a.m.
Oh my God!
And he's
He's a
much
better
older
man than
us.
I am. Clearly, I can't.
You see, I don't. There's nothing different between the weekdays versus the weekends. I wake up every day the same time every day. My body's already used to it. So Saturday's usually the day I sleep in a little bit later, but I actually woke up around the same time I usually wake up and couldn't fall back to sleep this morning. I don't have a single day of the week where I wake up late.
I mean, Tony's here too, and he probably drank like a half a bottle of bourbon last night. I mean, he's always...
There you go. Tony. Hey, Tony. What's going on, Tony?
And our other Tony from Arkansas is here.
There you go.
Good morning, Tony.
I'm just driving over here, man. I'm in Brooklyn, man. I don't understand Brooklyn for the life of me.
Legion is here after his big interview on In the Mix with Gary B last night, which was interesting.
I missed it. I got to catch the replay.
Gene is here. Good morning, Gene. Chop is here. Good morning, Chop. Cliff is here. Good morning, Cliff.
Yeah. I now know that Gene has the piece, so I'm happy.
Yes, yeah, he did. Gene did a video. He finally, so the package I sent him back in beginning of December finally arrived, and then he got your sketch cover as well. So
yeah. Oh wow.
Blame Canada Post.
Good morning, Mike. Mike is here. I know Mike was hanging out. Fanboy Prime had a stream this morning. They were doing a battle cover with Trev, the shipping guru, and Neil Collects. They were doing some Kiss covers. So pretty good. Oh, Taco's here. He's West Coast too. He's up early.
Taco.
Jerry's here. Good morning, Jerry. Appreciate you being here. Jay is here. Good morning, Jay. Wellbore is here.
Okay, why does Brooklyn have so many funeral homes? I must have passed by 20 of them in 10 minutes. It feels like. I would have
went with pizza places, not funeral homes.
No, I see more funeral homes than I see pizza places.
Then you're on the wrong street, man.
I honestly have no idea where I'm at. To be honest, that's how big. That's how big this city is. You know what I'm saying? So.
Wow, the Canadian contingency strong this morning. Chris shows up and all the Canadians come out. We've got County and Jordan squad, David.
There is 12 of us.
Yeah,
they're coming out the border. I think we're gonna need a new video, Chris. We just add more people in there. I gotta turn it right somewhere. So let me see what my GPS, because he's talking to you guys. I'm not even looking at my GPS.
Yeah, don't get into an accident or don't get lost. There's Trev.
Yeah,
Trev, I think Trev was the winner too of the cover battle this morning. So
yeah,
it's
New York. You don't really get lost here because all you have to do is just follow the skyscrapers. But I've never been to this area. You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much about getting lost; it's about getting shot. more than anything. You know what I'm saying?
It's Saturday morning. It should be relatively calm out there.
I don't know about that, but
so the reason Chris and Izzy are hanging out, I don't know if you've heard the news, but we're doing a channel crossover for membership crossover for the month of February and March. We announced it on Chris's Wednesday New Comic Book Day show. We followed it up. Izzy did a special version after Chris's show. So we have a giveaway going on. If you are a channel member of one of our channels, you get 2 entries. If you're a channel member of 2 channels, you get 5. And if you're a channel member of all 3, you'll get 12 entries into, we're giving away free slabs. And I actually have I have the photos too. I'm giving away a Doctor Strange 6.0. This is the origin of the first Doctor Strange in his own title. Chris has a 9.9 signature series, Grimm number 6.
Yeah.
And Izzy has, let me pull that up. We have Izzy's.
Yeah, because I don't have slabs to show you right now.
Yeah, he doesn't have it in his glove box.
I might be able to show you some slabs, but they're not.
So he's giving away a CGC 9.8 of Superman 78 Special Edition number 1 with the Comic-Con exclusive cover or label from CGC. So that is the grand prizes, and then we have a number of secondary prizes. So there'll be 4 winners. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the video and see all of the details. But like I said, it's running for the next 2 months, and we'll be announcing the winners. Just double checking the 30th. So right here on the Breakfast with Brian show on March 30th, on the last Saturday of March, we'll be announcing
get up
all
early
the winners,
again
so.
for this. Like, come on, man.
I'm almost certain I'll be at my home that day. Okay, I'm crossing Brooklyn. Now I'm in Queens, guys. Yeah. And you know what? Now I don't see funeral homes anymore. Now I just see cemeteries.
Well, they kind of go together, don't they?
Yeah. Now I understand why CJ lives here.
Well, Jimmy G is here, and I'm not sure if he was here for the intro. So anytime Jimmy G shows up, we release the LCS dancers.
You down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? Who's down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? You down with LCS? Who down with LCS?
So, Jimmy, that's for you.
You know, I'm driving. I'm trying to drive.
Hold on, Brian. Tony's asking me to do my thing here. You got your Doctor Strange slab right there?
Oh, sure. Oh, did we?
Would you mind reading us the right side of that blue label?
Oh, I thought you were going to do the
little
little
says,
dance.
this is Doctor Strange 169, Marvel Comics from 1968. First Doctor Strange in his own title, and origin of Doctor Strange retold.
Yeah,
it is a Roy Thomas story and Dan Atkins cover and art.
It's a great book.
You know what? You gotta give Roy Thomas credit, man. You know, whenever you look at one of those Bronze Age books, there's a good chance it was written by Roy Thomas. You ever notice that?
Or he edited it, yeah.
And he's and he's still working today, right?
Yeah, he's still doing his thing. I saw him this past year. I got him to sign my Marvel Premiere #1. Got that graded and slabbed as well. And that will not be part of a giveaway because that's a personal collection. And it's like he's still kicking it, man. He looks great. I don't know how old he is, but he looks great, man.
Well, I mean, he wrote that book in '68, so he's been writing or doing work in comics for well over 50 years, right? So
yeah, but he's one of extremely young. You know what I'm saying? So he's been around the block.
So Derrz, I sent out Derrz a little gift from MegaCon, so he just got that, a Ghost Machine, signed by the entire creative team of Ghost Machine.
So
Scott
talking
Vaughn is
about
here. Good morning.
Yeah, talking about MegaCon, what was your impression of? Oh, look, Madam Web posted the first one I've seen.
Fanboy's here.
What was your impression of MegaCon this year? How would you rank it amongst the conventions that we've all gone to? And I know you've been to plenty, like myself.
I actually liked it. I liked the way the floor was laid out. It was pretty easy to get in. So my daughter and I went. We only went for one day on Friday. We had to pick up our tickets there, and so we it was pretty quick to get our tickets, and we got right into the con floor. And it was kind of set up nice because Artist Alley was on the main floor. So it was basically one big space. They did have a couple other little sub areas for like cosplay. They had like a cosplay stage, and they had a couple other little areas, but everything was really on the main. So you had anime vendors, you had video game stuff, you had merchandise, you had a whole big comic section, and then you had the big Artist Alley. And all different artists. So it was nice it was all in one area. I know like at New York Comic Con, Artist Alley is typically not on the main floor. You have to go to a different floor. And some of the presenting and things are in a different area. So MegaCon had a different presenting area, but they also had like a floor. They had a little stage set up where you could see some of the talks and things that were going on. So I thought I really enjoyed it. I definitely was disappointed that we only went for one day.
Yeah, because I was seeing Erad, and he was talking more like a 2-day show to get if you want to get like the full experience, 2 days is probably the best amount of time that you need for it. But because MegaCon is done by the same guys that do Fan Expo. When you see Fan Expo is more of a pop culture, kind of like the way, New York Comic Con has become and San Diego has become a little bit more so, where the comic book side is just a portion of it, but it doesn't really take up the main attraction, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, there definitely was a lot of different aspects. Like I said, there was like anime. They actually even had like a little tattoo section for, tattoo artists and things like that. But the comic area was pretty big, and you had a number of vendors. You had your big time collectibles, East Side Comics, so some of the exclusive dealers, and then just some regular comic vendors. So there was definitely a good amount of if you were just strictly there for comics, you had plenty of vendors, and then you had a number of artists, and there were some big actors there. They tend to attract some actors. You had the cast of Back to the Future. You had Hayden Christensen. You had Ewan McGregor. So there were some big actors there.
So so Fan Expo is as we all know, a Canadian-owned company that's just been buying up Comic Cons right across North America. MegaCon and Fan Expo Dallas is probably the two biggest ones in the States, whereas Fan Expo Toronto that happens late August is the monster amongst them all. But MegaCon, looking at it and looking at people's videos, is almost a carbon copy right now of what they've been doing in Toronto for the better part of 15, 20 years. So Toronto has a tattoo area. Artist Alley is in a separate hall. It's Toronto is a 4-day event like MegaCon is, and it's in 2 ginormous halls. And the actors and actresses that they basically signed the contracts now to either do 3 to 6 appearances, like Fan Expo a number of years ago, just before COVID. They signed Affleck to do a couple cons. I know that he headlined Fan Expo Dallas as well. And they've had the Back to the Future crew here a number of years ago as well. But yeah, it's a big, big show. But just like I know Izzy and I talked about it. The one thing that was quiet, I thought about MegaCon and often about Fan Expo, because Fan Expo was so much later in the year, is that there was not much chatter about hot comics, whereas New York City Comic Con last year, everyone was going crazy trying to get some of those variants and exclusives out of that con. And MegaCon this year, I know they had the Crow cover that had a little bit of heat, but it seemed to be quiet, elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot. I mean, I think Ghost Machine was a big, they had a big presence there. They had a booth. They had a couple presentations. They had a fan only, like a dinner event that, if you paid extra. So they were kind of a big attraction from the comic book side. Like I said, there were some, I went by Big Time Collectibles. They had some exclusives. I picked up an exclusive or two, but yeah, they didn't seem to be the buzz around some of the, exclusive books like a New York Comic Con or San Diego. So
yeah, and even New York Comic Con this past year, the books that became like the hot ticket items were books that were panel books. So even the exclusives among, New York Comic Con were like, yeah, this exclusive is hot, but it's not at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It was easily accessible. So what the retailers have been doing lately is they're calling them the MegaCon exclusive, the New York Comic Con exclusive, the San Diego exclusive, but they really aren't that exclusive because you could go to their website and you could buy a copy. You get what I'm saying?
Most of the time now, it's just variants that they just call exclusives, right?
They're calling it exclusive because it's exclusive to them. Right? Because it's like, oh, it's our book, it's our exclusive book. So it's not exclusive to the con anymore. And I think that's why the buzz around them has kind of like simmered down a bit, I would say. There's still, there's still those.
I think there's just so many exclusive books now or so many variant covers that it's kind of like I'm certainly getting a little burnt out on it. Like I've been pulling just A covers for a while now because I just don't I just can't justify spending $25 a pop or $20 a pop on these exclusive covers when there's just so many of them,
I totally agree. It's, for me, normally the A cover is more than good enough unless it's unless it's a certain artist like that I normally collect, like it's an Art Germ or a Frizen or like a in Yuck Lee or something like that, or something that catches me. It was just like, you know what, I'll spend the extra buck on New Comic Book Day to get that one. And when it comes to picking up exclusives, when I go to cons and stuff, 9 times out of 10, I'm just chasing series titles that I normally enjoy, like Something is Killing the Children, or The Amazing Spider-Man, stuff like that. Otherwise, I'd rather save my money for the floor. Like when it comes to like trying to work out a deal on a Grail or getting a number of autographs from artists on Artist Alley, because I budget when I go to Comic Cons. Like most people, I don't have deep pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and so I'm interested to see, Heroes Con, how that compares, right? Because I've never been, and I've heard Heroes Con is, mainly comic books, comic book vendors. So I'm interested to see the floor and how it compares to some of these other cons that are kind of more, generic or general, and they're trying to hit a bunch of different areas. So
there's
I think I'm sorry. I think the niche of it all with these cons, like the expos, the New York, the San Diego's, is that it's a pop cultural con, where I think Heroes Con is like, it's trying to, cater to the collectors, right? So those that are looking to build their runs, because it's, from what I saw with the floor already, it is vendor heaven. You know what I mean? Which is great for us as a buyer, because we could go to different vendors and kind of like compare prices and stuff like that, because they're gonna be more affordable, because you got this guy who's selling the exact same book at the same condition, maybe $10-$20 less. So you have a better place of, I guess you could say, bargaining with the vendors. Say, hey, look, this guy got it for this price. What would you do if I gave you this? Or can we do a bundle or something like that? Which I like that part of conventions, where like when I went to Fan Expo in Boston, there was like maybe 5 vendors, like true vendors, and you couldn't really bargain with them because there was no competition.
Right.
You know, there are 5 vendors. They're all going to have 5 different sets of books. So I think, the idea behind it is they want to be more pop culture, very anime centric too, because let's be honest, guys, the kids love them anime cartoons. And I can't blame
manga
them.
and anime. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, all 3 of my kids are watch anime, into anime, Dragon Ball, and some of the other, they're into that. And that's kind of, my daughter was kind of in looking at some of the artists and some of the anime stuff. She reads comics, but not as much. She's more on the, the anime side.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about Heroes Con, after spending a weekend there, I see Derrz said that it can be overwhelming at first. If you're there, well, like Izzy said, this is not a pulp culture con. You're not going to have actors or actresses there. You're not going to have exclusives. You're not going to have cosplay, although there is. Mm-hmm. It's strictly a con that fights other cons to remain a true Comic Con in title. And there are the odd toy and other type of booths, but it's almost segregated to a different area. Now, like I can remember walking around, there was a booth that was some Legos, there was booths that were swords, booths that were classic toys and stuff, and some comic booths did have some small stuff. But this is, I can't stress this enough, like 85 to 90% all comics. And the thing is, I know people are like, oh, well, if you see something, you write it down and you can go to other booths and everything. But you got to remember, there are thousands and thousands of people there as well. And they're doing the exact same thing you are. So when you see something you like, haggle immediately. Like, don't think that may be there when you go back an hour later, because you got 1,000 other people, men and women, that are there exclusively for comic books as well. Now, the thing is, their artist alley is incredibly well set up. It is like almost the entire length of the letter L. So that's basically how Heroes Con is set up. And it is incredibly well done. Like, for those that say, oh, I love Comic Cons, the Motor City Comic Con is my favorite, or New York City Comic Con is my favorite. If you're a true comic fan, those Comic Cons should never come out of your mouth first. Heroes Con should be first, because it is the only true Comic Con outside of your small neighborhood Comic Cons that is truly still a comic book convention. The others are all pop culture cons. When you start getting actors and actresses, and Warner Brothers is showing up there to show the Batmobile and stuff like that, you've gone away from what the whole genesis of it all is. And the thing is, the group of people that went last year have really been spreading the word that, like, this is something special. And I
was amazed. I mean, you look at anybody's video from last year and the books that they picked up, like Rob, I mean, he picked up the raw ASM 129 for like, I thought was a steal, right? It's like $600 or something.
Yeah.
You got it graded. It came back. I forget what the grade was. I think it came back, higher than mid grade. And some of the books that were picked up were just, and I know Mark, I'm going to follow, my plan is I'm going to follow Mark around for like the first half hour and see how he haggles, and then take my cue from that and go get some books.
Yeah. I like following Mark too, because I put things in his pockets as I see him. But I worked out a deal. I worked out a trade and cash for Amazing Spider-Man Annual Issue 1, the first Sinister Six. Like, there is stuff to happen. But I'm telling you, for those that are there, like, who are seeking keys and grails, if you see something, haggle. Don't just like, oh, okay, this guy's got it for $500. I'm going to go see what else is around the con, because you have a legit chance of that not being there by the time you get back, because so many other
everybody's
people
on the hunt.
So many people are now. It's a different story if you're set building, like, and you're diving into long boxes and you're working on, ASM, 300 through 400 or whatever, then like, that's a different animal. But if you're key collecting, be careful. That's my thing. Like, don't be afraid to haggle.
Yeah, the other thing about key collecting that's important to note is my suggestion to everybody is first of all, pick out the books you want. That if you want it, that's your call. You desire it, right? But also keep in mind what's hot, because whatever is hot, there's at least 20 guys that are gonna have that, right? That's one. Two, they're gonna up the price of what it's actually worth because it's hot. So you want to be cautious of that. You want to look up. You might want to look for books that you want that are no longer in the radar. So if it's not in the radar, or it's on the downward, now's the time to strike. You get what I'm saying? Because right now I'm having a blast picking up my Warlock books. Why? Guardians of the Galaxy is behind us. He didn't. Out of all the things that happened in that movie that was great, he wasn't one of them. All right. So it's on the downward. So I'm able to get these Warlock books at great prices. What's up, CJ? Happy birthday, bro. I'm in Queens right now. I'm about to get out of here.
Go swing by his place. Pick him up.
Yeah, right. Imagine if he sends me a text message to pick him up, I'll pick him up. I'm right almost off the bridge, but if he's close.
But the best part of Heroes Con. Go ahead, Izzy.
Oh no, the truth is, buy what you want, but be smart about it. Do your research. Go and find out what the fair market values are. And also keep in mind whatever's on Cover Price or Go Collect or any one of these sites, the price is based off of what's sold in eBay. And the prices in eBay is higher because they want to make up that time of those fees that they're going to do. So you're going to get the prices at lower than what eBay is asking for. So be mindful of that. And go ahead.
The best part of Heroes Con that I cannot stress enough, and I know that we have some people that are hanging out in the chat that went, is the camaraderie. As great as the comic books are, as great as the experience going inside a true Comic-Con that's the size of King Kong, the camaraderie is better than all of it put together. To see people for the first time and sit down and have a drink or have a bite to eat and have laughs and take pictures with these people, that is by far the best part. The humanity of it all, just meeting these people for the first time or seeing them again and giving them a hug, shaking hands, and that's truly the best part of it all.
Yeah. I was planning to go last year, and then plans changed with our move and things like that, and so that was tough to know. I knew there was the guys did the movie premiere, and then Rob organized the dinner, so that was tough because I was thinking at one point I was going to go and meet everybody and then not go and then see all the stuff. I was like, oh, that was tough.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Is Taylor coming to Heroes Con?
It might be a coin flip for TW.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's gonna be. I'm gonna have fun because again, gonna get a chance to see a lot of you guys face to face. I know me and Brian, we met a couple of times, and a couple of guys from here in New York. But I want, like Chris. Looking forward to Chris. Looking forward to Rob, Mark. Everybody that's outside of the New York City area. It's gonna be a blast, man. I'll be doing the 2 days. I'm gonna try to arrive. I'm gonna try to do my best to arrive late Thursday. And I'm definitely leaving by Sunday morning. But I think for what it's worth, I think it's gonna be a blast. I'm putting money to the side for it, not just for the trip, but I want to get me some key books too. I'm planning on trying to go big on some books. Maybe not Rob big. I'm not that fat stacked, but I do plan on getting certain books that I'm looking forward to pick up. I haven't made a list yet of what's going to be the books I want to get. Sometimes I just kind of just want to go in. But I think for Heroes, there are going to be books that I say, this is going to be the book that I'm going to be hunting for. And I'm going to see what it is. Because one of the books that personally I always seem to want and it's affordable. It's not an expensive book, but I've always wanted 266, X-Men 266. I saw it in the con for like 200 at one time, a raw copy, and I couldn't pull the trigger at that time, which I would have. But it's one of those books that I think should belong. Like, I want to be able to get the X-Men Blue Team. I want to get their first appearance, which should be easy, with the exception of, giant size.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely trying to save some money so that I can pick up some books that some bigger books, some key books. So
yeah.
AF-14? I'm saving my rats for AF-15.
Hey, don't be sleeping on AF-14, man.
Yeah, I'm working on the AF run. I've got 1 through 14. It only cost me $100.
And collecting with Derrz with a 10-month membership. Thank you, and a big happy birthday to CJ. So,
yeah.
Imagine this is his birthday month.
Okay, let's do a trade-off. We're gonna trade off all our AF 1 through 14 for 15, and it still won't be enough. But this is the whole run.
Yeah. I got bad news about AF-15 if you're an Aunt May collector. I guess that would be February 29th.
Yeah, you got an extra day this month, right?
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't have a 9.9 yellow label in your collection, this might be your chance.
Yeah. Yeah, or that,
or Doctor Strange.
Or that Doctor Strange.
So you know how everybody's doing their books for the year? I know it's February already, but who cares? I do want to have a 9.9 or a 10 book. That is one of the goals for this year.
See?
And unfortunately, I'm not eligible to win the 9.9 there.
Yeah.
But I am.
I wish I could help you.
I will say this much. I am a channel member to both Brian LCS and the Comic Vet. And I'm going to have to talk to my wife to become a channel member for the IzzyVerse. Hey, honey, do you think I could just see my wife. Hey, honey, you think you can give up $1.99 a month? It's like, for what? For my channel? It's like, no.
I think here's our new hashtag: leap into winnings.
That's good. I'm looking forward to working on some of my top 10 lists. Like, I've really been scouring eBay and checking some of the other comic book sites. I think the one book I'm really going to be focused on next is probably going to be the early Transformers. I believe it's issue 6. The Shockwave cover are all dead. That painted cover. That one I'm really going to be focusing in on soon, as well as a 9.8 copy of Crisis on Infinite Earths: The Death of Supergirl, either direct or newsstand, whatever falls into my lap at a solid price.
I have that book. I have that whole run.
Roscoe.
So.
Morning, Roscoe. Yeah, that's.
Hey, Roscoe.
I'm two books down on my top 10 list. Although one of the books is the entire run of DC versus Vampires in a 9.8 from 1 to 12, but I do have 5 copies of that already done.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, the one I was probably happiest about, like, getting early, is the first Ra's al Ghul. Again, really low grade, but hey, like, I think Ra's al Ghul is just a terrific villain, and one of my all-time favorite characters from DC is Swamp Thing. So I'm glad to have these two knocked off in January alone. So
Ra's al Ghul is one of those really
Mark's
great
got
villains.
some covers for you.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I can remember that when he got that Supergirl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ra's al Ghul is one of those characters that I absolutely love, because he's one of those villains that doesn't see himself as a villain like that. And he really isn't a villain in the traditional sense. So, depending on how they write him, when they write him well, there's a purpose behind the madness, if you know what I mean, which I think those are like the most intriguing types of villains. There's 2 types of villains I like. Villains like that, or just pure evil, like a Joker or a Carnage. You know what I mean? Where it's like, no, we're villains and we know it. So.
Yeah, I'm going to try to target some surprise ASM keys. There's a couple books I really want. I definitely want to try to pick up an ASM 129. I don't have a 300. I had a 300 at one point. I sold it, so
Me too.
definitely want to
I've
try
had
to
it a
find
few times.
I have
300.
I have a 300 right now sitting with CGC, and every day I'm looking at it, and it's just sitting there like scheduled for grading. I'm like, I want to know already.
I have a 300, just not the kind of 300 I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question for you guys. I keep seeing this, and it annoys me when I see this. What's your impression on these Turkish comics that they keep popping up?
The only Turkish comic that I respect is the Saga #1 that was the Turkish Comic-Con exclusive with that gorgeous painted cover. Other than that, it's like a Pence version. And
yeah,
give me the American, baby. That's what I want.
Yeah, I guess right. Rob Fatstack said it best. It's consolation prize, right?
Yeah.
Like
but
it's so
funny printing, because right? It's like you go to eBay and you look at it and you're like, when you go look for a book and you see it like, wow, this book is super, affordable. And then you find out it's the Turkish edition. And you go, it just feels like that time when you would go, like when we were kids and you would get the toys, your parents would get you the toys and you want that He-Man toy. And then you just get like, Man toy instead. Like
the knockoff,
So for me, it's like the Turkish edition, even though it really isn't, but it feels like the knockoff. Like it's a straight up knockoff edition.
Like to me, a lot of those reprints, whatever country, because there are some that were for South America as well. Because I have an ASM book that was published for South Africa. All these books are books that did well in the United States, and they decided just to reprint them to try and capitalize on it in different parts of the world because it was so well received. Yeah, it's exactly like Brian just said a moment ago. It's what Rob considers your consolation prize. That's all it is. That's all it was. Like the first big reprints were the gold record reprints from Marvel, those ASM Fantastic Four #1s. That's exactly what they are. They're just reprints because they did well, and they're just trying to they're going to milk that cow for what it's worth.
Well, and at that time it wasn't like they had digital either, right? So Marvel Tales is a perfect example of a reprint, and even a lot of those Marvel Tales are expensive too these days. I'm like shocked because they're definitely reprints of either Marvel Team Up or Amazing Spider-Man or something like that, and they're going for top. A lot of them are going for top dollar. Like the first appearance of Punisher. You mentioned 129. I saw the Marvel Tales, which has, instead of yellow background, it has the red background, and they're asking for money for that too. And I'm just like, just because it's the second printing, it's a reprint of the story. No, I want the real deal.
Right. I want to recognize CatFan and Cliff for their channel memberships with a very special video just for them.
That was a nice day that day. I was really enjoying how cloudy it was that day.
I thought those were the fans going to Heroes Con right there.
That's what a little fact about that video. That Trev, the shipping guru, was actually one of the cowboys in that video.
Oh, really?
Trying to find him. I'm not sure which one, but
you know what doesn't make sense at the end of that video is that female voice saying, "Yeah." It should have been like, you should get like Cliff's voice saying, "Oh, baby."
Okay, new edit. Let me take a note on that. Let me get that.
We'll talk later. We'll talk offline.
I thought you were going to say a macho man. Oh yeah.
Marco's here. Good morning, Marco.
Oh yeah. Drink it. Okay, it's official. We are now in the Bronx. We're right by the Bronx. We're right by the Bronx Zoo. So that's
multiple. He's hitting multiple counties.
Oh no, I normally hit every borough. The only one that we don't hit is Staten Island because we don't count that.
No love for Staten Island.
Staten Island, man, that's where our garbage goes, and I'm not lying when I say that.
All right, I got to take care of some business here. We have we do a hashtag every week, and we didn't have a live show last weekend, but the previous show we had 7 entries. So we give away a duck for the end of the month giveaway, and we'll do a hashtag for the chat here today. But let's go ahead. There were 7 people that dropped the hashtag in a comment. So good luck. We're going to give somebody a duck for the end of the month.
Ducky!
How do you get your little logo on there? Do you have a paid membership to the Duck Race?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, so the paid gives you the logo.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
It's pretty inexpensive. The Duck Race it's like $12 a year, and you get
all the different characters besides the ducks.
all the different features. It's Trev.
Let's be honest.
He's a mermaid in this one, and he's a cowboy in the other one.
Ryan is he's a spokesperson for the Duck Race. Okay, those people love him. They probably gave him free membership for life.
Yeah, that's
how
I found out about the Duck Race.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start the hashtag 2 for this. This week will be crossover, since we've got the crossover going. And we'll pick 2 winners since we weren't live last week. We'll do we'll pick 2 for this week to get them, and then we've got some books we can pull. But yeah, sounds like I derailed the talk.
That's But yeah, Brian, I'm looking for an ASM 300 as well, and they have really, really come down in the last 6 months. Like, it's almost a free fall, especially those mid grades from say 4 up to about 7. They're almost all in that same price range. Like one day the 400 will be 400. Next day the 7.0 will be 400. It's just when you pull the trigger.
Yeah, I hope that trend continues so that we can. Yeah. By June, that the prices are still on the decline.
Here's the thing with that book. I don't think that I'm sorry to say it. I don't think that book's going to be on the decline because there is a Venom movie coming out. So once a trailer hits, boom.
I don't know, man. I for Venom 1, I would agree with you. Venom 2 a little bit, but the way that those 2 movies have been received,
it doesn't matter.
I don't know, man.
There's always going to get that now.
I can see that 361 recovered, but it took some time. It took some serious time for 361 to recover.
That's a book that's on my list.
And Cliff mentions it here, with the CGC, the couple of different scandals. But at MegaCon, CGC's booth was pretty active. A lot of people getting signature verifications. Yeah. And the booth was pretty, it had a constant line, a few people, a lot of people submitting books. I actually submitted a few books. I don't know if it was good timing or not, but the fact that I was going to be there and save, being able to hand deliver them and save on the shipping to send them in. I thought it was just a good idea. One book was just really kind of a cover that I wanted to get slabbed, but the 4 others were all Miles Morales keys. So 2 Ultimate Fallout 4s, his first series, and the first appearance of Spider-Gwen. Those were the 4 other books that I dropped. So I'm hoping that they'll come back. So
you said 2 UF4s.
Well, I had the second. I had the first and second printing. So
okay.
Okay. I have a first printing that I'm gonna get. I have to get pressed and clean to send it out. It's actually in really good condition. I would say it's a solid 9.4. but I want to see if the pressing could fix it and at least give me a 9.6 off of it.
It's almost 9.8 or nothing when it comes to miles right now, and the secondary value.
Yeah. So I want to be able to have a good 9.8. I know DJ had one and he was offering it. He offered it to me, but I was like, I can't pull the trigger right now. If I could, I would have. But I do have a trade in mind in play for some, with Josh, because Josh actually has the book.
Where's Josh been? We haven't seen him.
He's stuck in the woods, man. Stuck in the woods. The truth with Josh is Josh has been really. He's been like knee deep in the business, right? So
okay, well, that's good.
For those of you who don't know, Josh is a retailer now, but he doesn't have a shop, right? So he does everything from the comfort of his home. So I see him every week. Well, I see him more than every week, but I see him all the time, and it's like he's just so enamored. And we were talking earlier about pop culture and all that stuff. And one of the things that happened to him is that he got caught up. He came into the business as a comic book collector, and he's still a comic book collector. He's a collector. He's a great writer. So, and we collaborated a little bit. And but he started selling the toys and the anime figures and stuff like that. So he ended up becoming a very big business. And to be completely honest, his money is coming from the toy collections, from the anime stuff, because that market is so huge right now that it's taking up all his personal time. So that's the reason why we don't see Josh.
So it's a good busy.
Yeah, it's a good busy. You will see Josh again, I guarantee you. We will take him out of the woods sooner than later. But the truth is I don't want to take that away from him because that's money.
Oh yeah. No, makes sense. Makes sense.
So and he's a bit of if you didn't notice, he is an introvert, a massive introvert. I don't know anyone that's more introvert than Josh. And sometimes you just gotta let him be. So I'll get my books from him. I'm very happy to get my books from him because of course when Ultimate Comics come out, I'm not worried. You know what I'm saying? I'm
gonna run the first one here. So good luck to everybody. We got 23 entries for a duck, end of the month duck.
Oh man, I forgot to put my name there. Shoot. Let's rerun.
Oh my goodness, let's cruise it.
What?
Really? The luckiest man on YouTube.
Really?
All right, we're gonna draw one more name. Good luck.
Now it's parking time. If it's Las Cruces again, forget it.
GW.
Oh gosh,
rigged.
You had to get it. Yeah, exactly. Seriously.
Right, and remember, leave the hashtag crossover in a comment at the end of the video, and we'll pull those names next week for another duck.
Chris, you ruined it. You put that shirt on, and that's what caused it.
Oh. It's one of my favorite shirts, to be honest.
It's just fine.
All right, let's pick some books.
It's fine. All right.
I've got about a half a short box here. I have a whole new full short box. I'm trying to finish this one up. So we're going to pick 10 books since we didn't pick 5 last week. So Chris, you wanna
sure.
do the honors here?
Let's go 6 from the front.
6 from the front.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay.
6 from the rear.
She said that too.
Who's got 6? Okay, let's let it ride.
Yeah, and that's definitely what she said.
Okay, those 2 books at your finger splits, Brian.
Okay. All right, we got 6 more to get.
Stop. And those 2 books at your finger splits.
Okay. All right, 4 more.
Stop. Those 2 books at your finger splits.
Okay. And 2 more.
Stop. Those 2 books at your finger splits.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got.
Watch your back.
Let me do that. We've got little DC, Justice
nice.
League variant cover. This is Justice League 59.
Awesome.
We've got Judgment Day #1. Actually, when I first pulled that, I thought it was a Wonder Woman cover, but it's not.
It's nice.
ASM #1. This is the Trick or Read.
What's happening?
So we got to pull another book, so I'll pull one. So anytime we pull one of the free books, here you go.
Oh,
nice.
I like that one.
Spider-Man.
Nice.
Hey, it's a genre media that people will like.
Yes. Crime Syndicate #1.
I know where you got that book from.
We've got the Batman Fortnite.
I know where you got that book from.
Walmart pack. Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures #1.
Nice.
We've got X Lives of Wolverine #3.
That's cool.
Little.
It's like a Hello from New Mexico cover.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if that's a sign for Lucretius, but we'll see. Way of X #2.
Very nice.
Got 2 more books. We've got the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Armageddon Game, The
Kind
Alliance.
of looks
Not
like
one I'm
Liefeld.
familiar with, but
yeah.
And last but not least, another Star Wars: The High Republic Adventures #4. So you got issue 1 and 4 in this.
Yeah, Trev is saying that issue 1 is a $10 book.
Oh,
I feel like almost every High Republic book is a
exactly.
book.
There's some first appearance in a Star Wars book, right? Yeah.
It's always the first appearance too.
So those will be the books. We'll pull 5 more next week, and 5 at the end of the month. So some lucky winner will walk away with a 20 book haul at the end of the month. So good luck to everybody. Yes, and don't forget our membership giveaway.
I don't have it in front of me.
Wait, I have it. Let's show it. Where is it? There it is. There's Izzy's book. So I have one other thing to mention that I'm working on. So I have I've completed a comic book script, and I'm working with an artist to get a book together. And so I actually sent the script out to a few people in the community. They gave me some feedback. So you're at the point now where I'm working with an artist. So I'm self-funding it right now, but eventually I'll be doing a Kickstarter for it. But we want to obviously I need to get the book complete and everything where it needs to be. But here's some of the character designs. One of the character designs for one of the main characters.
I like the backside.
And here's kind of the first page that is being put together. So, so yeah, something I've been working on for a little while. I've had the idea for a while. I finally put the script together, and then thought it was in a good enough spot that I could try to go out and get an artist. And Justin Birch, who's going to be doing the lettering for me once I get all the the artwork back and complete. So there'll be more details of that. And then CBC Awards, March 1st, Friday night. I'm going to do a live stream to kind of get any of the open questions or items or concerns that people had from last year's awards out. We've been meeting as a committee already and have defined some things for next year, but I just want to make sure that we have everything covered from the community perspective. So I have that live stream scheduled for our March 1st, Friday night. Probably, I think it's at 8 p.m. So not to interfere with In the Mix. That's Friday night at 9. So
yeah.
Bring your questions and your concerns, and CJ, skip it. So
we got this question from this guy from Queens. No, never mind. I got another question from a guy from Queens. Never mind.
I have not. That's a good question, CJ. I have not. I have not copyrighted them. That's a good reminder, because I have done some scripts in the past. I've actually done 4 or 5 feature length scripts, film scripts, that I do have copyrighted. So that's a good reminder. Thanks, CJ. Justin's here. 3 Good Nerds. Good morning. Appreciate you being here. But yeah, we're going to probably wrap up soon. Philtastic, I know he was hanging out. I'm not sure if he is going live. He usually goes live at 11 a.m. following us. So Phil, if you're still here, let us know if you're going live. I'm not sure. I know his schedule's been a little crazy with a new baby at home. Troy's here. Good morning, Troy. But how about you guys? What else do we have coming up? Chris, what do you got? What do you got going on in your channel?
I just dropped the top 10 highest selling graded comic books for the week on eBay for the week ending February 8th. Yesterday, it was a big mix of different books, from Golden Age to Silver to Copper and a modern that's an incredibly special book. The number 1 spot really surprised me, because the book that was in 3rd place usually owns the 1st spot.
Yes.
So everyone who hasn't seen it, please take a few minutes, check it out. And you'll be catching me in a few hours on Only Slabs on Rob's Fantastic Comics YouTube channel. Our guest is going to be coming from the other side of the planet. This is the first time we're going to be having a guest from Australia come on and show his slabs. And this Wednesday, it'll be, as always, an open invitation for a New Comic Book Day hangout. I like to call Show Us What You Got. Doesn't have to be brand new books from New Comic Book Day. It's just a New Comic Book Day hangout. Thanks, Brian.
So Chris, I'm not going to be in the show because you might get a copyright strike, but then again, you might not, only because I'll be sitting down watching Madam Web. So if I show up and we put it, you might get pulled off, not because they don't want you to see it, it's because they're afraid that people are going to see it.
Oh, Madam Web comes out this. Oh, that's right. It's Valentine's
no
Day.
idea.
It comes out on Wednesday. It comes out on Valentine's Day.
Not a clue.
Dakota Johnson in a movie that comes out on Valentine's Day that has nothing to do with 50 Shades of Grey. Go figure.
Yeah, 50 Shades.
The irony.
Yeah.
50 Shades of webbing that no one cares about.
So, Izzy, what about you? What give us an update on your location? You seem to be parked somewhere.
So I am parked. I made it home.
Okay.
This whole drive was a commute home. I made it home safely, rat free. Actually, I do have some really cool books, and not cool books, but I really have some cool things. Today, I will be releasing the very first episode of, and I worked with the guys over at Shortbox. So I've been working with Shortbox lately in trying to do a top 10 list. So we're going to be doing, and this is the exclusive, I haven't shared this with anybody. We're going to be doing, starting today on a weekly basis, we're going to do the top 10 listed comics in Shortbox, which is really cool because you'll be surprised at some of these books, man. I was surprised at what are the top 10 listed books. So this is the official list that was given to me. They give it to me every week. I've been having it for the last 3 weeks, but I've been getting the template set up for it. So every week I could just easily throw in the stuff. So today's the first day it's going to be launched. I'll be launching it for everyone, not just channel members, even though usually we'll try to do a channel exclusive, but today I'll be launching at 6 p.m. And it's going to be a short one. It's like 10 minutes long. It's not long at all. But you're going to get to see what are the top books that are listed in Shortbox, and you will be surprised at some of those books. I guarantee you on that one. On top of that, there will be no live stream on Monday because it is my wife's birthday. And you know, if you tell the honey, hey honey, you mind if I do a live stream on your birthday? She'll look
that might not be a good thing.
She'll look at you and say, well, this will be your last live stream. Because there won't be any more after that. So who knows what happens. I'm going to try to see if I can do a pre-recorded version of it. But if not, there will be a video up because I do have content available to go up at any time. So this Monday will not be live, but there will be a chance to win something. So So they will have something there. And then, of course, we have the giveaway that we're talking. We're going to be getting some more stuff. So good luck to all of you guys. Make sure you hit up Chris's the Comment Vet. Make sure you hit Brian LCS. Make sure you hit IzzyVerseNYC. We all have different tiers for everybody, so it fits any budget. And I'm going to talk to the missus. I'm going to talk to the kids. I'm going to talk to my mom, my sister.
Izzy wants that 9.9.
I want that 9.9, man. I want that 9. If you have any 9.9s hanging around, anybody that has a 9.9 hanging around, let me know. I want a 9.9.
Just
I don't care what it is. Yeah, just make sure it's pre-screen.
Brian, what do you got?
I've got a couple videos this week. I'm doing some catch up on some of my Miles Morales reviews, and then we'll be live again, next Saturday. So, but yeah, I got a bunch of videos ready to go this week. So, hit that notification so you're up to speed on everything that's coming out. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's good luck to everybody on the giveaway. Hopefully you guys jump in. Jump over to Philtastic Comics and Art. He's going live right now, so definitely go check him out. But appreciate you guys being here. Thank you to the chat, everybody hanging out. And
to CatFan, I will look at a 10 if you show it to me. So send it to me and tell me what it is, because it doesn't have to be a 9.9. It could be a 10.
E-Man got here. What's up? Good morning, E-Man.
Well, send it to me. Let me know.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again to the chat for hanging out with us. We'll see you live next Saturday.
You want to play games? Okay. Have a night with him. Come on. Okay. You want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend. Okay. You want to play rough? Okay.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.